Pop singer Michael Jackson facing multiple counts of child molestation. So how do the cops go about trying to prove these allegations, and will he be under arrest today?
Yeah, really. Joining us right now is retired NYPD detective and private investigator who heads up the limited group, Lou Palumbo. Thanks for being here this morning.
My pleasure.
Are you surprised that they didn't just go after him right away? I mean, they're giving him a chance to turn himself in.
Well, I think what we're really doing is reinforcing the fact that we have different rules for different people in our culture, which is problematic and what fostered this incident to begin with. Perhaps if this was addressed back in 1993 after the first incident and we had resolution with that case other than someone being paid off $20 million, we might not even be at this threshold right now.
And of course, Lou, by Michael Jackson supposedly paying that kid back in '93 the $20 million, as is rumored, he set himself up to be essentially an easy mark. I mean, there's a good chance he did this. There's a good chance he's innocent. I suppose a jury eventually will figure it all out. But somebody could just say, you know what? He's got this history. It would be easy to point the finger at him.
That's exactly what I had said in a discussion with someone else. I mean, we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's what our legal system, our judicial system says, that you're innocent until proven guilty. For all we know, this might just be some sophisticated plot to extort money from him. And quite frankly, $20 million, which he gave the first group, $20 to $25 million, is enough to motivate people.
What about this DA in particular, nicknamed Mad Dog? He was the guy that investigated last time and evidently was so angry when the case had to be dropped because the alleged victim, would not testify. Is this getting personal?
I can't really speak to that.
Does it seem it?
I don't think so. Quite frankly, I just think people have to realize that people in law enforcement are very dedicated and very passionate. And when they see injustice, it motivates them. And I think that may be what you're experiencing here. The thing I find interesting, is that we're now attempting to shift focus from what Michael Jackson may have done to what we think is the mindset of the prosecutors and the sheriff. And it's not, you got to stay focused on what the problem is. We have an allegation made by a 12-year-old young kid that he was...
Well, the affidavit's sealed for 45 days, so we don't know exactly what...
Well, but I mean, that's what they're leaking, so we can only go based on what they're giving us, and normally the law enforcement agencies will give the media something, so I give it a certain level of credibility, although it's not extensive based on a sealed document.
Let's just bring people up to date real quick. The allegations were reportedly made by a 12-year-old cancer victim who said that Jackson gave him booze and pills at Neverland Ranch and so on and so forth. Apparently he was visiting Jackson as a last wish. The family, or at least the leaks that are coming out, say the family has no interest in making any money off of this. And, you know, a lot of people were talking about the DA's performance yesterday. He put on quite a show. There was a lot of bravado and so forth. Some said it was just completely, ridiculous for him to do that. But a lot of others are saying he was trying to convey a message. Look, we're confident this time.
He may have been confident the first time. The unfortunate part is the message that was transmitted by the first family was they didn't want money either. But I think once you start to realize that we're offering you $20 million or $25 million, and your children are not going to be subjected to what I would consider to be emotional battering, is pretty substantial.
What's interesting, though, is with this new child, his family has hired the previous child's attorney, Larry Feldman, to represent him, and Larry was on Fox yesterday. One quick question. They sent 70 cops out to scour his place a couple of days ago, the big ranch. What could they possibly have been looking for? Any
type of alcohol that the kid may have described in a complaint, pills, videotapes, transcripts. There's tons of forensic...
Transcripts?
Absolutely. You don't know what this man had on his property. I mean, as far as his... you have to realize, and I don't want to tie this to Pelicano, but Pelicano did work for him, and you have no idea what Pelicano may have facilitated to him and his property. I mean, you don't know where this investigation
You're suggesting that maybe Anthony Pelicano recorded somebody's phone conversation, and rather than send Michael Jackson the tape, sent him a little transcript that said, okay, this is what the alleged victim said to the cops, blah, blah, blah.
Well, Pelicano received a lighter sentence. I mean, he's only serving 20-some-odd months, I think, for a charge that typically gives you several years.
It was illegal wiretapping, yeah. That's a pretty serious charge. It's a felony.
So maybe he spilled the beans.
Well, you see, the interesting thing is Pelicano's sentence, what they said, was between 27 to 33 months. And interestingly enough, he took a position that he was not going to give up any of the clients that he conducted these illegal wiretaps for. And I think there's something else going on with him, quite frankly, because he would have received a heavier sentence. And a lot of times, when law enforcement rolls someone, we try to protect them.
Gotcha. Lou Palumbo, former NYPD police detective, we thank you very much for joining us
My
today.
pleasure.
Okay.